I'm not a cheapskate or a cheap guy or whatever other names they've got for it, but these are 7 things that I refuse to spend my money on. If I do, there has to be a really good reason for me to do so. There's a few things on these lists where no matter what happens, I just won't spend any money on it at all. Let's get started. The first one is table service and like buying bottles and stuff at like clubs. And I don't know, man, don't know what it is, but I've just never really been a fan of doing that shit. Not only alcohol is expensive, but when you're buying it in places like clubs and beach spots and so on, in a shop, a bottle that you could pick up for like 20-30 pound, in there you're paying like 10 times more the price. So like 300 or 400 for a bottle that costs 20 or 30, just because they've put a bit of candle and sparklers and they're coming out with that sign thing. So yeah, for me, it just doesn't make sense. Obviously, there's been a few nights where I have done it, and like I said, there needs to be a reason. So like, if it's like my friend's birthday and he's like, bro, do you wanna come and celebrate with me? Yeah, fair enough. If there's a reason behind it, you're celebrating something or something's happened, then cool. But I know a lot of people, they just do it on random nights because they find out the easiest way to obviously attract girls, and then obviously what happens after. So 2, you're also gonna wake up with massive headaches. For me personally, let's say a table cost 500. If I can go do a little activity or experience something new for 500, I'm much more likely spend that 500 doing that new experience or activity than the alcohol. Next one is credit card interests, or any sort of interest at all, high interest. Not only you're paying for all the first class flights that people upgrade with points and all the free stuff that they get, you also get in charge a lot of interest on the payments that you're doing, because credit card companies are taking like 20-30%. Do you know how crazy that is? Like, there's most stocks that you put your money into, you'll be lucky to see 10% if you're lucky. So just taking 20-30% and just giving it to the credit card company because you were stupid enough to go buy random stuff that you don't need just because you've got a credit card and some people think it's free money. The next one is pretty self-explanatory, and that's only, it actually blows my mind that a lot of guys out there that are willing to go to work and put in 8, 9, 10, 12 hours worth of work just so they can go sign up for a girl's pictures that's behind a paywall. I was watching a documentary here, and the people were in Romania. Bro, they set up like whole studios and everything with loads of guys behind the laptop typing and pretending to be the girls while the girls on screen, and I'm just thinking, what the hell?
This is a little bit absurd to see in real life. I mean, right now there are people all around the world who think that they're communicating with these beautiful women, and in actual fact, it's a room full of men.
And guys are paying for this thinking that they're actually talking to the girl, right? Bro, if you want to pay your way through to get females or whatever, obviously I'm not condoning it, but you much rather just actually spend your money going out and meeting people, maybe offering to get them drinks or going on dates. I feel like that's probably the best way to spend your money instead of just trying to pay some girls on who knows. This is just my opinion. Right, so the next one is designer clothes and shoes, especially when they're not timeless pieces. I remember a few years ago, when I would go out and stuff, I'd see people in like those Balenciaga shoes and Louis Vuitton shoes with all the spikes on it. Bro, and their shoes were like £1,000, and bear in mind, not everyone had them real. There's a lot of people that wear replica. Assuming that they were real, them shoes are like £1,000, and people were happy putting their money into it. But now they're out of fashion and no one cares about them anymore. Like, no one wears them anymore. So imagine, like, bro, it just sounds crazy to me, man. I'm not really a designer kind of person, but if I was to buy anything like that, it needs to be something where I know I'm really buying it because I like it and not because I want to try and impress someone. And also, it needs to be a timely piece where it does not go out of fashion no matter how many years go by. The next one is brand new cars. Otherwise, if you start with this one, man, they depreciate like crazy. Obviously, most people don't buy them in cash here in the UK anyway. Most people do either loans or leases. Lease is like a long-term rental. You will spend so much money on it, pay interest pay interest on an item that's like, let's say 30 grand. Yeah, you get a loan for the 30 grand, pay interest on it, so you probably end up paying like 35 or even close to 40, depending how good or bad your credit score is. So you've got a loan for 40 grand for something that's worth 30 grand that's going down, but your loan payments are staying the same. When you finish paying it off and you try to sell it, like you don't even get half of it back, man. That's crazy. In the UK as well, if you live in the UK, you either know someone or you've seen them around. Definitely. Then people, like, you'll be trying to sleep and someone's outside your house with a massive antenna trying to like get your car to start, or someone trying to come up to you. Bro, there's just so much going on. Like, if I need to do any of that, like, I need to be in a position where if someone was to take the stuff from me, wouldn't affect me that much financially. Or you need to have somewhere to store it, because bro, it just comes with a lot of mental energy, man. Don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna lie to you, having all that stuff is nice, but currently I'm not willing to sacrifice things that I want to do for certain items, because obviously everything you do, it comes with a trade-off, right? I think it's called opportunity cost. The next one is pay monthly services and software, and oh my days, where do I even start with this one, man? Everything nowadays is literally like they've turned into a software as a service. You're not paying for the software to keep it, but you're paying for using it, and every month they're taking money out of your account. So the biggest one for me now is Adobe. And it's a shame because the products are actually pretty good and I'm a big user. I use nearly all the stuff. And I remember when I first started using it, this was a few years ago when I first started using it. I think it was like Adobe CS6 or something. Bro, you could just buy it. Obviously back then I didn't have the money, so I wasn't buying it. But the point is, you could just buy it and keep it and it's yours. But now these people, they got so smart where they've changed the thing around where you don't buy it, but instead you rent it month by month and you paying them shitloads of money, 50-60 pound a month just to use it, man. And I'm just thinking like, bro, why don't you just make an option where I can just buy it? Yeah, I understand if you just buy it, you probably will lose out on some updates and something because they've got the payment and they've got no incentives on working on it. Yeah, that's fine, but I feel like they need to give that option to people that want to buy it. But unfortunately, with the way that things is going, everything is turning into like pay monthly. So the idea is they can market it, get you once, that's it, and then they've got you for life. You just keep paying. So all they need to do is just focus on keeping the people, but just getting new people in. And it's so annoying, man. Like recently I was on YouTube and I seen a comment, yeah, and it made me laugh. It was something along the lines of, if buying is not owning, then pirating the software is not stealing. Last but not least is constant technology upgrades. Don't get me wrong, I like my tech. Like, I'm into like cameras and lenses and computers and so on. What doesn't make sense to me is me constantly upgrading just because new one comes out. The marketing companies and all these YouTubers, like, they try and push it in your face, make it seem like your old stuff is not even worth it anymore. You need to go and get a new one because your old one is not even useful anymore. And I don't understand. People are signing up 2-3 years payments on iPhone. 2-3 years payment on iPhone, paying every single month, and then by the time you finish paying, the iPhone 18 is out and you're still paying for the 15. That is actually crazy to me. Bro, 1 second. Look at this. Man's still running on the iPhone 11, bro. Bought this like 4.5 years ago. I think I paid $750 for it, straight cash. The point is, I've had this for like 4.5 years, still working, still running. With the new iPhones coming out, maybe I might upgrade, but that makes sense because I've had this for 4 years. But switching every year or two, bro, for most tech stuff, it does not make sense. You might as well get your money out of it first before signing yourself into more debt. Nowadays, a lot of people, they actually value materialistic stuff more than the freedom. They're willing to sign up for debt and go do extra hours at work, go do extra stuff that they really don't want to do just to keep up on the payments, and just keep adding new stuff that they don't need. Well, yeah, it's all crazy to me, man, but all this is just my opinion, by the way. You may agree, you may not agree. There's certain stuff that I'm probably not willing to spend my money on, but you may be. Let me know what you think, and let me know what are certain things that you find it hard for you to spend your money on. That would be interesting to know.